Hi everybody, Dan Illman here with some exciting news. DRF Formulator, the gold standard in past performance information, is now free, exclusively on DRF Bets. Join DRF Bets with the promo code WINNING, get a $250 first deposit match bonus, a $10 free bet, and free Formulator already uploaded to your account. Access Formulator's premium features, including sortable trainer stats, race replays, personalized trip notes, and lots more. Free Formulator, exclusively on DRF Bets. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, stakes-laden card at Laurel Park on Saturday. Two graded stakes races, including race number 8, the Grade 3 $250,000 Barbara Fritchie. Fillies and mares going 7/8 of a mile. Let's take a look at this field. There isn't a ton of pace in this race, Mike, and the number 7 Jakarta just seems rejuvenated at the ripe old age of 7. She's coming into good form off a graded stakes placing at Gulfstream Park.
Yeah, it seems like switching back to dirt 2 starts ago at the end of December really made a difference for this horse. She did, take advantage when she won that stakes race at Parks on December 28th, but she came right back against a much better field last time and ran well again.
Maybe an advantage as we take a look at the Timeform US pace projector. We know Jakarta likes to be forwardly placed. Timeform US has her on the lead in a blue bar scenario, favoring horses on or near the early lead. I guess the 6 Bold Confection might try to put some heat on Jakarta. I just think Jakarta's faster.
Oh, yeah, I do too. And, this kind of a pace scenario really gives her a pretty big edge in this field. It feels like, to me anyway, she probably needs some kind of an edge like that if she's gonna wind up winning this race, Dan, but she might have it.
The number 1 is Feel d'Esprit, and this horse had a big 2020. She won, 6 of 7 starts, and then she missed a lot of 2021 for Jerry Robb. And you just got the feeling she was slowly racing herself back into shape when she scored 2 starts back. Now, last time out in the What a Summer Stakes, she finished behind Kaylasaurus, but she didn't break very well, kind of made a move into the teeth of the pace, and then understandably flattened out.
Yeah, she had an excuse last time. It feels like she's the kind of filly or mare now. I guess you could give her another chance, I suppose. I mean, she started out very cheaply, Dan. Just kept winning, went right through her conditions before that long layoff that you mentioned. And she did come back and win a race very easily 2 starts back. I'm more than anything else, Dan, obviously this is a step up in class. I'm a little bit worried about the 7 furlongs for her.
Charlie Baker, a really good horseman based in New York, has the 2 Glass Ceiling in raging sharp form. This horse has won 3 of her last 4, including this victory, a 3 other than at Aqueduct. Now, this race, she got a very nice trip. The pace wasn't very fast. When I talked to Charlie, he said that Dylan Davis told him that that Glass Ceiling wanted to run over the top of him on the backstretch. She gets to the outside, she draws clear, and now she's going to step up into a graded company, but with figures that make her very competitive.
Yeah, I mean, listen, she's just sort of improved out of nowhere in her last 4 starts. And I don't know where it came from. She was knocking around in New York forever before that, just sort of running the same race time after time after time and never really getting the job done. And then all of a sudden, she just turned her whole life around with that entry-level allowance win at the end of September, and she's kept it going since then. And the form she's in right now, she's way the horse to beat.
Great story, the number 3, Kaylasaurus, taken for $25,000. She's now the first graded stakes runner for Bush Racing Stable, Liberty House Racing. And first off the claim, they pulled off a big upset in the Willa on the Move, coming from well off of a very fast pace. She then came back and finished ahead of 3 of these horses in the What a Summer. Let's watch that race last time out. And she ran another solid performance. The Buyer got up to a career best 85. She is a 1-run closer, though. And while she got some help in the Willa on the Move, this pace projector might work against her a bit.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like this race is going to set up great for her. Great claim by these guys, though. They've gotten 2 really good runs out of her. I thought she ran well in this race, because there was really no closing going on except for her, and she was making up ground at the end of the race. If she can keep that forward momentum going, Dan, and get at least somebody to go after Jakarta early in this race, she can factor at the end.
Perhaps Regal Retort, the number 4, was a wet track move up 2 starts back. That 96 Buyer speed figure is certainly an outlier compared to everything else she's run in her career, but I also have a feeling 7/8 of a mile is her distance. And maybe running 3/4 last time out at Laurel was just a little bit too sharp for her in her first start of the form cycle. Steve Asmussen, Toby Sheets ships her down from New York. She could be ready second off the layoff, and she could be a lot closer to the pace. And heck, if it rains, it's good for her.
Yeah, it is. It is usually good for her. It's interesting, Dan, because she's run some really big races on wet tracks, and she's also run some pretty poor races on wet tracks. But she's also, run really well on fast dirt too. The distance does feel like key for her. She kind of, I feel like maybe she's at her best when she can sit and make one run, but she doesn't have to get that kind of a trip. She can stay closer if she has to.
Prodigy Doll's done some nice things in her career. She was a stakes winner at Mahoning Valley. She's banked some decent money. And in her first start at Laurel for Phil Schoenthal, she ran an okay fourth. She easily outran her 46-1 odds. I talked to Phil. He seemed very pleased with the effort and thinks she can take a step forward with that race under her girth.
I mean, she's going to have to take a step forward, Dan. We'll see if she can do it in here. If she just needed that one off the layoff last time and is ready to improve off of it, that's all well and good, but she has to improve a lot.
Both Confection is going to step up into a stakes race for the first time. She is trained by John Service. Let's watch her last race at Parks. She has now won 3 out of the last 4 races, and she has tactical speed. You see her turning into the stretch of this 2 other than going 6 furlongs. She's comfortably ridden. She's going to draw clear with a 78 Buyer. Service told me that this horse had some leg surgery before he got her, and ever since he's gotten her, there hasn't been a problem at all. He said the last work's the best work she's had, and he always feels that this horse might be a 7 furlongs, 1-turn mile type.
I mean, it'll be interesting to see if she's ready to, finally improve a little bit. I mean, her form recently, anyway, is actually pretty good. She just hasn't really run a fast race yet, Dan. And I felt like going back to that race at Aqueduct 2 back, that was an okay field, but it wasn't a great field. And I don't know, I didn't see any excuse for her in that spot. I just didn't think she ran that well.
Jakarta, expected pace of the race, gate to wire win when she had things her own way, going 7/8 at Parks. Last time out, a little bit tougher from a pace standpoint at Gulfstream. She had to battle a little bit while down towards the inside. The 2 favorites are going to finish ahead of her, but all in all, a game third. This long shot pace presser couldn't hang with her in the stretch.
Yeah, I thought she ran well in here, Dan. And it was a race where I didn't necessarily like her chances all that much. It's just a better field of horses. The 2 horses that run her down came from out of it while she lasts for a clear third. I didn't really buy into her off the return to dirt 2 starts back where she just walked on the lead in there and never faced a challenge, but she backed it up last time.
Belle of the North is by Street Boss out of a half-sister to Zenyatta, and she's turning back to a 7/8 distance that proved very strong for her in the safely kept, although she got a brilliant ride from Horatio Karamanos that day, saving ground, weaving his way through horses, and then Belle of the North did the rest. Now, they tried to stretch her out 2 turns, and considering that Zenyatta's in the pedigree, why not? I talked to Jose Corrales. He said the horse just seemed a little bit confused with the extra distance. He likes turning her back to 7/8, but she is just a dead closer that needs some help up front.
Yeah, I mean, I like her cutting back for this race too. I just don't see this race necessarily setting up that well for her, and it feels like she might need at least a little bit of help up front if she's gonna beat this field, Dan. But listen, she's got upside, and she did run well 2 starts back.
Top pick time for the Barbara Fritchie. It is a nice graded stakes race at Laurel on Saturday. I got to use Regal Retort as well. I liked her last time out. I know it was the big win over the slop 2 back. I liked the way she did it. If she can somehow get back to that fig at this price, she's worth playing.
Yeah, I wanted to take a shot with her too. I just like her as a horse, and I think this is a great distance for her. Like you, I want to give her another shot out of that What a Summer last time. I'm not way against Glass Ceiling in here, Dan. She's just a hard horse for me to warm up to. I just have this bad feeling she's bound to turn back into a pumpkin at some point.
I think that's a very fair point, especially at the odds. I'm hoping that maybe Jakarta takes a little bit more money and Glass Ceiling drifts up a bit. She'll need to for me to play her, but I've liked her recent form. She's going to be my top pick. Mike's going Regal Retort. I'm going Glass Ceiling. It's the Fritchie. It's one of 6 stakes at Laurel on Saturday. Play it with your DRF Bets account.